Hey everyone, welcome back to the Steel Donut Collective. I'm Blake, with me is Connor.
Hi.
And Matt.
Yo.
And today we are reading a National Treasure fanfiction, Fan Letters, by Riley Poole 27. And unlike the title, it is fortunately not one of those fanfics where someone answers letters with their OC. We'll get to those.
Okay, we probably have gotten to those.
Probably. Weirdly enough, National Treasure is like it's a lot more successful than a lot of people like to remember. And that's why we get fanfics like this. It's Riley and Ben find an adventure through a stack of fan letters.
So you're telling me instead of reading the fan letters, they're gonna burn the fan letters?
I wish.
You said it's an unconventional story.
It's pretty unconventional.
It was an incredibly warm day for November, Riley Poole thought to himself as he walked down the busy city street. He was heading to the grocery store to pick up some supplies. He had his earbud headphones plugged in and didn't notice when a man called out to him.
Hey!
It was only when someone grabbed his shoulder that he turned to face the man, a slightly annoyed expression marking his face.
What the heck?
Riley's face quickly changed from annoyance to surprise. When he realized that the man who had grabbed his shoulder was his friend, Ben Gates.
It's my friend, Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Ben!
Riley murmured, wrapping his arms around his friend.
Now, if that is the gayest straight hug ever.
Yeah.
It's not like he was just said, "Hey Ben," and they bro hug. No, it's Ben. He wraps his arms around them.
Yeah.
Like John Woo, doves are flying everywhere.
Oh man, then we've already done this in real life when I wrapped my arms around Blake and said,
No,
Blake.
nobody should ever know.
Anyways, when Riley pulled away from the hug, he realized that Ben was clearly speaking to him, as he could see his lips move.
Oh.
Riley quickly yanked off his headphones. He only had earbuds in earlier, but okay. And shoving it, along with his iPod, into his jacket pocket in a jumbled mess.
Alright, I don't know why he had to be so quick about it. And B, did he have his iPod in his ear as well? Because it wasn't in the pocket.
You know what I want to know? How come he grabs his shoulder and instead of taking his earbuds off and then giving him a hug, he just hugs him with his earbuds on?
And it's like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
Like the hug was more important than whatever he had to say, I guess. Sorry, what were you saying?
Riley asked him, smiling apologetically.
I need your help.
Ben told him as they both started walking down the street towards the grocery store. Riley kicked a few orange leaves with his high tops and grinned.
My sick high tops.
Look up, where's?
Is this like a break into your house type help or a treasure type help?
Ben, part-time explorer, part-time, GTA enthusiast.
Yeah. Riley questioned Ben, smirking lightly. They continued walking as Ben pondered the question. He really didn't know the answer beforehand.
Yeah. Since we found the treasure Cibola, I've received many letters from fans asking to help to find the treasures all over the world. Most of these are urban legends or just frauds, but there were a few that caught my attention.
I can't tell what's funnier, the story or Blake's impression.
My totally great Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. As Ben started to talk, Riley grabbed a shopping cart and started to look through the weekly flyer.
Oh man, I thought it was gonna say Ben grabbed him.
Oh wait. Read the next line. Read the next line, Connor.
They moved further into the store.
What store? You never established a store.
No, he stole a homeless guy's shopping cart.
It's like the opening to Hard Knock Life.
Yeah. They moved further into the store, coming to a standstill in the middle of the produce aisle.
Are you planning on pursuing any of these stories?
Ben grinned at him. His eyes lit up with excitement.
Of course.
Every line out of this sounds like something from something else. That isn't fan letters.
It never took much convincing on Ben's part to get Riley to help him out.
Oh my god!
He'd just whip his dick out.
Yeah. He could say the most outlandish statements like,
I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
Or I'm gonna steal the deceleration of independence.
Oh my gosh!
Ben would do it.
I just realized, could this be a crossover with Declaration Dizastar?
Yeah, there's the
No,
Declaration of
'cause
Independence right there.
Ben would have gotten away. Those other chuckle fucks didn't.
Well, no, I mean, if you think about it, in the first movie, he steals the Declaration of Independence, but this is the Declaration of Independence, which is what they went after in Declaration Dizastar.
Which saner people would have laughed and walked away. But Riley could never turn his back on his friend.
Oh, I thought I was gonna say Riley wasn't sane.
He could never turn his back on his friend, except when he turned his back on his friend, if you know.
Yeah. He knew how crazy Ben sounded sometimes, but he also knew that his best friend wasn't all talk. He produced results.
He tortured people.
Oh my.
If he said that he was going to do a task, no matter how insane or impossible it may be, there was no doubt in Riley's mind that it would be done.
So, Ben, you said you need help with your latest task? They said it's impossible, but I'm finally gonna suck my own dick. No.
I'm gonna fit 5 dildos in my body.
No matter how insane or impossible it may be, he's gonna do it.
Yeah. They spent 20 minutes collecting everything Riley needed.
What did he
before
even need? He was just going to his apartment.
No, he was going to get some supplies.
You needed milk, eggs, bread,
And a head of cabbage.
Yeah, they're gonna need to make a bomb later. They spent 20 minutes collecting everything Riley needed before hauling the groceries back to his apartment. Ben sat at the kitchen table and started to sort through some of the letters that he'd brought with him, while Riley quickly put away all his groceries. His apartment was a tiny bachelor apartment with a horrible view. Apart from his extensive collection of electronics filling his entire living room, everything else he owned was pre-owned. I don't give a fuck. There was an ancient armchair which he used to watch TV, and a scratched-up dresser filled with clothes.
You see, what happened here is this guy finally got to bullet point number 6 on 10 tips for being a great writer, and that bullet point was make sure you provide lots of great details. So we get just a description of just this freaking room.
Make sure you detail this room, even though they're probably not going to spend another second in it.
They aren't.
Okay. And a beat-up table with 2 mismatched chairs. He sat down across from Ben at the tiny kitchen table, the pile of letters neatly stacked in the center of the table in front of him. He put his reading glasses on, then gave Ben a tiny smile.
Okay, Ben, now show me the letters.
Alright.
Do that at literally any line. This whole thing is just so unintentionally gay.
Let's check these letters out. Chapter 2. Riley picked up the first envelope and pulled the letter out.
Wait, what?
Just testing it out. Testing it.
He pulled out the letter.
You gotta be calibrated.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. His eyebrows shot up to his forehead.
From his cheeks.
Yeah. After reading some of the crazy things people had been writing about.
I sucked my own dick. Oh, no.
These theories. Oh my god. Why is my capitalized?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Some of these are so weird. Some of these people claim aliens abducted them. One guy here says he has proof that his family owns a real Stradivarius violin. Dream on, man. Dream on. Why is there no period on the end, but there's like a period everywhere else?
Riley doesn't believe in periods, dude.
He's a man. He doesn't have any periods.
Ben sat back in his chair across from Riley and put his fingers up to his mouth.
Oh my god.
It sounded like an air horn doing it.
That's because I was laughing while I was doing it.
Someone needs to make the air horn remix.
It took Riley a while to get through the entire stack of letters, but when he was done, he looked up at Ben and handed him a sky blue envelope with spidery old writing.
So, this is a huge stack of letters. So he's been sitting here reading letters for like 3 hours while Ben just sits there saying nothing.
No, he put his finger up to his lip.
It's one of those real candid, down-to-earth relationships.
Yeah, like, Connor, remember the time I was like, hey man, I got this great book, I'm just going to read it, and we just sat in the same room and you just stared at your feet and I read a book.
Yeah, you read the book and I watched you read the book.
It was great.
This is the one I would choose out of all of them.
It was the same letter that Ben had already chosen beforehand.
They were linked in heart, mind, and soul. Yeah.
They were soul brothers.
They
were
both
soul lovers.
Pisces. When he saw the envelope in Riley's hand, he raised his eyebrows. He couldn't help give a tiny smile.
One small smile.
Yeah. It was written by an old lady named Mrs. Harsham. She claimed that she had an old family heirloom that supposedly led to an incredible treasure, which she didn't get herself, I guess. Unfortunately, she didn't specify what this treasure was, as she insisted that she must tell the rest of her story in person. Even though she hardly gave any information, it intrigued both Ben and Riley.
Why would the letter where she's just like, I have a treasure, come talk to me to find out what it is? Why would that be the most interesting letter?
I am lonely. Please come talk to me.
We can play Monopoly.
Yeah. Oops, you sunk my battleship. Her letter was the only one that actually appeared to be about a legitimate treasure.
What?
Instead
But
of
it's
the
the one that contained
outlandish...
the least details.
Yeah. Instead of the outlandish stories that most people had written about.
Oh, okay.
They found themselves at Door an hour later. This Door's a place. It's a local corner bar. After having driven across the city to one of the older districts in town.
Yeah, where the old people live.
Yeah. House was a nice-looking townhouse with hanging flower pots on the front porch.
You know, this reminds me, the fact that they're at Door at House.
Yeah.
You know, no joke, where I live, there's actually a local pub called the Local Pub. And there is a store down the street from me called The Store. Basically, I live where they're at right now.
Man,
Oh my
I'm
God.
sorry. You ever see Ben and Riley walking around town hand in hand?
Maybe, like, I live in, like, just Genericville, where there's local pub and store.
Yeah. Ben knocked sharply on the door twice, but there was no response. He turned to Riley, who shrugged.
Maybe she's out.
Ben knocked a third time and was turning to leave when someone answered. Mrs. Harsham was an elderly lady with a thin patch of white hair haloed on her head.
I'm
trying to imagine.
Wait, so she has a circle of white hair? I've never seen anyone lose their
Yeah.
hair like that, especially an old lady.
Yeah, she's completely bald.
Like, she has a
except for
comb over,
ring
like,
of white
what-
hair.
How many old ladies do you know have male pattern baldness?
All
Like
of
her
them.
her brown eyes darted from Ben's face to Riley's. Ben quickly introduced themselves, and Mrs. Harsham invited them inside. They sat down on the white and red striped love seat, both of them on one love seat.
Well, a love seat is made for two people.
They were meant for each other. Yeah. Wait, so is it just the love seat and the other chair?
Yeah.
She sets this up beforehand.
She was ready.
You know, she wants this to happen. She
They're-
ships
they're
Ben
her
X Riley.
She ships Ben, yeah.
Yeah. They sat down on the white and red striped love seat while she sat in a matching armchair across from them.
She God? Why is she capitalized? She.
They made casual small talk and drank tea out of fragile-looking flowered teacups.
And they keeled over, dead.
Ooh. Small talk is one word. That would be a good name for a band. I gotta remember.
Riley zoned out after a while and busied himself looking
Oh,
around
God.
the living room, which was cluttered with photographs of family members and tiny figurines.
He was busying himself looking at them.
It reminded him of visiting his nan. He was staring at the photos on the wall, nibbling on shortcake cookies, when he realized that Mrs. Harsham was talking to him.
What a piece of
What
shit.
an asshole.
Yeah.
Riley think it's great that you are helping your dad with looking for old treasures. It must be nice to have such a great relationship with him.
Dad? Oh my god, what are you doing here? I'm recording! Dumb joke. Dad? Riley snickered a little, glancing up at Ben.
No, I'm sorry, Mrs. Harsham. Ben's not my dad. He's my best friend.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just thought you were his son because you were so young.
And then he proceeds to act like a 15-year-old.
I'm 26.
Riley told her, slightly miffed.
I'm not a little kid.
I can buy beer.
Yeah, I can get shwasted. I'll prove to you how shwasted I can get.
Where's your wine, old lady?
Yeah, I'm gonna drink this whole six-pack of Seagrams, okay?
I'm gonna...
Oh my god!
It's like, come on, old lady. I know you got a wine cellar around here. I'll down 2 things of Chardonnay. And keep going.
This time it was Ben's turn to snicker at his friend's expense.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to upset you.
Ben shot Riley a look before turning back to Mrs. Harsham.
Sorry, ma'am. My friend is a little sensitive about his age. Don't take his pouting seriously. Please tell us about the treasure.
She took a deep breath before starting her story.
So,
She'd
are
tell
we
the
ever gonna
whole
get to
story
the
in
fan
one breath,
letters,
I
or-
guess.
Yeah. Like,
There are fan
My
letters
great great grandmother
in
was
this,
born in
right?
Belgium and got married in the spring of 1840. At that time,
Allegedly, no, they sifted through all the fan letters,
Okay, all right.
and now they're just
they
gonna
find
go
an
get some
adventure.
national
Okay.
treasures.
I
Yeah, they're going to
getcha.
get another treasure.
Yeah, they're gonna like go down to the antique shop
This-
and bring back a vase with a cat on it or something.
All right, so those were the first 2 chapters of fan letters. Pretty good so
Yeah.
far, wouldn't you say, guys?
Riley and Ben get a stack of fan letters. Most of them end up in the trash.
Riley
They-
and Ben go on a magical gay adventure that's totally straight.
Yeah, pretty much. They are the ambiguously gay duo.
Yeah.
All right. See you, everybody, and join us next time for more fan letters.